I've got the world in my hands. Wherever it stops, I'm traveling to next. Where is my next travel destination? We are going to Florida. Hell no. We're ready. We're ready to go. How to work and travel at the same time. How to make money and travel the world at the same time. How to travel the world and make money at the same time. Okay. How to travel the world and make money at the same time. How to travel the world and make money at the same time. It can be done. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Penthouse Finance. I'll be your host for the day, like I am in every single episode, and my name is Aaron. So we're getting straight into this video, and today we're talking about a very interesting topic. We're talking about traveling. But we're not just talking about traveling, we're talking about traveling and making money at the same time. This is something that so many of you guys want to do, but the only problem is, once you start traveling, you can't really be at the office at the same time, and you're actually sacrificing money to spend money, so it's kind of like you're going backwards in terms of your financial goals. But we have a solution here on Penthouse Finance where we talk about interesting topics, things that you guys might want to learn about. First, we're going to give you guys some background information about myself, how I stumbled upon traveling, and what led me to travel, make money as I traveled, and then eventually I ended up here making YouTube videos from where I came from. So anyways, guys, before we get into this video, guys, don't forget to smash that like button for Penthouse Finance. But one thing I want you to do right before you smash that like button is hit that subscribe button even harder, and the bell for notifications, as it's a little bit more important. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let's jump straight into it. We're gonna sum this up as fast as we can in 2 minutes or less. So basically, when I was 20, I wanted to start investing in real estate. I invested in real estate, then I wanted to sell real estate. So I started selling real estate. I hated it. After a year and a half, I'm like, screw this job, I wanna travel. So what did I do? Packed up all my stuff, moved to China. I lived in China for just over 3 years. I did a bunch of different things. I started out teaching English. I did private tutoring. I did some modeling. I tried to start a YouTube channel. I tried to do a dropshipping business. There were so many different things that I wanted to try as an adventurous guy in his mid to early 20s. So anyways, we're gonna talk in this video about 5 interesting ways that you could actually travel the world and make money at the same time. That's something that so many people in this day and age want to do, and it's totally possible. I did this for over 3 years, and I came back with a wealth of knowledge and perspective. Not to mention, I just had so much fun that, I was kind of like ready to do something a little more serious, and I started Departures Capital and now this channel. So guys, let's get into the 5 ways that you can actually travel the world and make money. So guys, let's talk about the first way to make money and travel the world, and that's actually teaching English. So for all my native English speakers out there, whether you're from Australia, England, America, Canada, New Zealand, those are the top 5 countries. In certain countries, English teachers carry a very high premium compared to what most people make in the country, and you can actually live an amazing life, save money, and have a ton of fun. So let's talk about some of those countries. The country I lived in, of course, was China. Now, China's not for everyone. You gotta love the people, you gotta love the culture, you gotta love the food. China's a very busy, dynamic place, but for me, it was perfect because I wanted to have tons of fun. Personally, in my opinion, the best place to make a lot of money if you're looking to actually still make money and have fun at the same time is Asia. #1 country, in my opinion, is China, but we also have Japan and Korea. Japan and Korea do have higher restrictions when it comes to the barrier of entry in terms of teachers. Some positions you need to be a certified teacher. You definitely need to have your TEFL and your bachelor's degree. But in China, not so much. So we're gonna pick China, Japan, and Korea as the top 3 countries to teach English, at least for Asia. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the salary. Now when it comes to Korea and Japan, I don't know too much, but in terms of China, oh boy, the salary is actually pretty good. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about your pay grade and what you can expect to make and expect to save, because cost of living is very different from the way it is here. So when I was in my prime, when I was a really good English teacher, I was making roughly 21,000 to 23,000 RMB per month. And what does that equate to in Canadian dollars? Because we are here in Canada. Well, that equates to roughly over $4,000 Canadian per month. Now, what was the kicker? I wasn't being taxed on that money. Now, for some of you, that might not seem like a lot of money, but let's put this into perspective. If you're currently living in Toronto or any major city, cost of living is very expensive. We've got rent, we've got food, we've got your cell phone bill. Let's talk about the cost of living, specifically in China, for example, because that's my area of expertise. It could be different in other countries. In China, I was paying $10 a month for my cell phone bill. I was paying maybe a couple $100 per month for food. And here's the kicker. You can have food delivered to you every single day, almost for free. And the food apps in China are absolutely amazing, way cheaper than Uber Eats. And now let's talk about rent. You can get a very nice place for under $1,000 per month. So let's say all in, guys, I was probably paying about $1,500 per month total in living expenses, which left me with over 50% disposable income, or about $2,500 per month to do whatever the heck I want. Things in China are very cheap. It only costs a couple RMB to ride the metro. Taxis are only a few bucks. And everything was just fun because I had so much disposable income. I could go out, I could have fun with all my friends. But when it comes to teaching English, there's also two ways to approach it. So you can approach it from a full-time perspective, where you go to a school, you get a job, they give you set hours, and they pay you a monthly salary. The second and more flexible way, and almost you get more bang for your buck, is if you do private tutoring. Private tutoring is very interesting. If you can build your clientele, you can actually arrange to have people pay anywhere from $50 to $100 per hour. I came to a point in China where I only wanted to work part-time. I had enough money saved up, and I simply just wanted to have fun. So what did I do? I got a part-time tutoring gig. I was making $50 to $100 per hour. I actually had some really crazy rich clients. They were awesome because every day they'd pick me up in a different car. Maserati, Range Rover, BMW. It's crazy the amount of wealth that I saw over in China. So very, very interesting place. Keep in mind you've got those two options, and of course there's more stability. If you're going for that full-time position, there's also more flexibility. If you're a little more adventurous, you want to set your own schedule and try to just hustle, see how much money you can make and how much fun you can have. All right, guys, that brings us to our second business idea. That is a recruitment business. So once I was done teaching English for a while, I wanted to do something a little more entrepreneurial. So what did I do? I started a recruitment business. And you guys might wonder, how did I stumble upon starting a recruitment business? So I remember one day I was talking to this girl. She's my agent. She's the one who found me jobs. She said to me, if you have any friends, if you refer me any of your friends, I'll pay you a commission. Oh, how much is the commission? $600. I said, whoa, that's pretty good. You know what? If I just refer my friend to you, you find them a job, you give me $600. This sounds like a sweet opportunity. But you know, what I realized is I was at the bottom end of the food chain. Essentially, I was getting the lowest commission, but how much are these schools actually paying her? And it actually equates to a couple $1,000s per English teacher. Now that's in China. Other countries are different. They don't carry as much commission. But long story short, I started a social media based recruitment company. And that's one very interesting way of, traveling across the world, making connections online. Facebook worked as a great source for finding leads. So if you're very tech savvy, you want to travel the world and potentially start your own business, you should really think about starting a recruitment business. And to be honest, that's the first online business with Doc. That's where our relationship got really serious. We really started to connect, and yeah, it was good. Right, Doc? That's actually what got Doc to China, because when I came back from 2 years of traveling, I always wanted Doc to come to China with me. I said, man, it's so much fun. You just got to come with me. Doc was a little bit scared. Doc was a little bit unsure, and Doc was in a long-term relationship, and he was pretty much tied down. So, luckily I convinced him that China's a place. Let's go have some fun in Asia, and that is exactly what we did. Was we had some fun. But let me tell you one thing, guys. We actually stumbled upon that business. So, when I was back in Canada, it all happened when I was back in Canada. So one night I was at my condo. I was texting my friends in China on this app called WeChat. And a guy messaged me on Facebook and he said, hey man, you taught English in China. Can you hook me up with someone? And I sent him to my recruiter, and bam, didn't even clue in that she's gonna pay me a commission. Long story short, I referred my friend to her. I made $600 and I said, wow, that was the easiest 600 bucks I made. Let's start a business out of this. Let's try and scale this. As you stumble through life, you're trying to figure out your life, you don't know what kind of business you want to do. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I came back to Canada. After those 2 years of traveling, I stumbled upon that. I said, wow, there's an opportunity right there, and I jumped on it. Doc helped me scale the business, and we recruited English teachers across the world for a year. But anyways. All right, guys, that brings us to our third way to make money and travel the world. And this is a very interesting one. It's called becoming a model. So essentially, modeling is very popular in Asia. I even did some modeling in China. You don't gotta be that 6'7", super suave guy, you know? You can just be like a normal, decent looking dude. And you can still get a modeling gig across the world. I actually met a bunch of models when I was traveling Asia. It really comes down to, just perfecting your image, finding your niche, and then talking to people in the modeling industry and just putting yourself out there. Because even if you have a unique look, you can definitely make it as a model. Depending on how you carry yourself, depending on the niche that you target and the money that you attract, you can do modeling part-time, you can do modeling full-time. I just did some stuff for fun, and I was actually pretending to be a CEO of this air filtration company. It was pretty funny now that I remember that. It was actually a Kickstarter project, and they paid me like a couple $100 just for the day, just to go hang out, pretend to write some stuff at my desk, looking like a CEO, and then holding the air filtration system. So, anything's possible. Modeling is one of those things. If you've always been interested in modeling, it's a very competitive environment here in North America, but as soon as you go to Asia, it's a totally different story. So that's another way to travel and make money. And some of my friends in China, they made upwards of $1,000 per shoot. It's pretty easy, fast money, not to mention it can be a lot of fun if you can keep up with the model party lifestyle. All right, guys, that brings us to our fourth way to travel and make money, and that is start a dropshipping business. So whenever you're traveling, across the world, there's different things in different countries, and it all comes down to a vision. If you're traveling in another country and you see an item, you see something that you think would be a hit back home, do some research, figure out where it comes from, and then figure out if you could potentially sell it in your home country, in your hometown, and scale the business. That's how so many things have started, with one idea, with one person who has a vision. They think, oh, I see this little trinket, I see this little, this little lamp. I see this little trinket, I see this little lamp. It's gonna be very interesting, and I'm gonna sell this thing back home. I'm gonna sell 1 million of these, and I'm gonna become a millionaire. I never personally started a successful drop shipping business, but I've always wanted to. I love my tea, and that was one thing that I wanted to do when I was in China, was start a tea company. I never got around to it, but hopefully one day, I can still start a tea business. So we'll see what happens, guys. But keep your eyes open as you travel, look for opportunities, and then, if you see something you like, take advantage of it. If you see something you like, make a business plan, see if it's possible, and then get started. All right, guys, we're gonna save the best for last. Number 5, this is the 5th way to travel and still make money online. And this is the one thing that kind of gets me, because now that I make YouTube videos, I see what is actually possible by making YouTube videos and making your money online, being your own boss, being fully in control of your income, of your life, of your schedule. It's awesome. But what do I regret? I regret not starting and being serious about a YouTube channel way earlier in life. I just thought that YouTube was for fun. To be honest, a couple years ago, I didn't even know that these videos were monetized. I thought people just did it for fun and popularity. And boy, was I wrong, and I regret that. But anyways, you can't go back in the past, but you can, change the future. You can make a plan. So my best advice is, if you're living in an interesting country, if you're eating awesome food every day, if you're doing amazing adventures, if you're traveling, when you actually go out and do that, even if you're teaching English, you could start by teaching English. You could have your side hustle, which is making YouTube videos, where you go to all these cool restaurants, whichever country you're living in, you record it, you talk about the experience. People love to hear about that stuff. Now that's just one example. You could do skateboarding in Japan. You could play video games in Korea. You can do so many different things, and that's the beauty of the internet. It gives us so many possibilities. And obviously monetization is a little bit harder nowadays, just as so many people are trying to do that, because it's an awesome life. It's an awesome way to, pursue the things that you're interested in and still get paid for it. But my best advice is don't start tomorrow, start today. Damn, that's a good quote, Doc. Pull that up. Don't start tomorrow, start today. Pursue what you love, and don't just settle for something that you're okay with. Do something that you absolutely love and just pursue it. So guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope I offered some cool, interesting advice. I hope I inspired you to travel. And we will say one more thing. Traveling has been hands down the most fun I've ever had. And if I didn't want to get serious about my life now that I'm in my later 20s, I'd still be doing it and I'd still be having a blast. But don't get caught up if you do travel. Don't get too caught up in the party life, because it's a life that never ends. And I've seen people drink and smoke their way to oblivion, so you don't want to be that person. Don't want to be that person, and you know who I'm talking about. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash that like button. Drop me any comments. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite country to travel to? Where have you always wanted to go? Alright guys, that's it for the video. Don't forget to stay tuned for more videos. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the bell for notifications. We're out of here. When you learn how to make money and travel, the world is yours. Don't forget to smash that like button 1,000,000 times until your mouse stops working, and then buy a new one and hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. That was a very loud car that you may have heard. It's actually a really crappy car with a flare.